Hello, my name is Devin Crockett, and today in this video, I'm going to be talking about what a nutritional psychologist is, what they do, and how to become one. If you're interested in food, diet, and mental health connection, then follow along because I have lots to talk about. All right, so for starters, since I'm talking about psychonutritionist, um, let's explain what that is actually. Psychonutritionist is somebody who uses dietary interventions to heal mental illness. So, dietary interventions, helping edit your diet to help prevent depression, anxiety, bipolar, preventing Alzheimer's, and just a whole host of other mental disorders. Nutritional psychologists are also called psychonutritionists as well. The names and the words are interchangeable. And one of the main dietary interventions that they use is actually the keto diet. And that's why we have this, it's becoming very popular. People usually use it for um, weight loss, a diet for weight loss, but it actually can help your mental health. So, just a little quick background on myself. I myself am not a nutritional psychologist. I am just a guy who's really interested in this field. I do want to become one myself one day, but as of now, I am not one. But I think if it's good to get this information out there. So I saw in doing before coming to this video, I've seen many um, facts, studies. I read many studies, a lot of YouTube videos as well. The nutritional psychologist professors talking, um, and before it, well, there's a whole host of history I could get into, but um, the videos I saw, and I've seen years of research talking about how a diet can improve mental health. There's one research that shows that dietary measures such as the keto diet is good for um, cognitive improvement, such as remembering, such as better mood, such as having more energy, things like that. Right, mental energy, not just physical energy, but mental energy. Less feelings of burnout, and so there's a whole host of reasons as to why you might want to try and do the keto diet. Um, and I feel like those who know, then you know. And I did a lot of research on how to become one for this video. But before I go there, for this video, I also still want to talk about what exactly is a keto diet, right? Before I go any further, a whole host of benefits, but let me tell you exactly what a keto diet is, because you might read a research paper and it says keto diet, but what you have in your head is keto diet, and what someone else has as keto diet could be two separate things. So let me elaborate. Keto diet is any diet that lowers insulin. So, for example, the carnivore diet lowers insulin. Animal based diet lowers insulin. The lion's diet, which is a subcategory of the carnivore diet, lowers insulin. Mediterranean diet lowers insulin. It's also keto. These are all keto diets, right? The vegan diet lowers insulin. It's still keto because it lowers insulin. Atkins diet, paleo, and the Lancet diet. So these are like what, 8 different diet choices that people could be talking about, and it is if you're reading a research paper, you might not really be sure which dietary uses that they're using, right? Which dietary keto intervention that they're using, because there's multiple ones. And I will say this: the most popular one for research for that I've seen seems to be the Lancet diet. Um, and I am very have it up here on Google. Google what the Lancet diet is. The Lancet diet, also known as the Planetary Health Diet, is a dietary pattern proposed by the Eat Lancet commission to promote both human health and environmental sustainability. That doesn't tell us a whole lot. But when we go over here to the eatform.com, basically you can see that half of it is veggies, and then everything else is, very little bit starchy veggies. Everything else is like mostly plants, 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 plants. A little bit of dairy and animal protein, but mostly plants. I am unsure why they have unsaturated plant oils as well. That to me seems weird for a healthy diet, but this is contradictory to what the research says. So to kind of summarize what I just said, the Planetary Health Diet or the Lancet, I don't think personal choice, it's not the best diet for humans because it consists so much of vegetables and vegetable oils, which is odd. Um, when it comes to because we're trying to stop eating vegetable oils because that causes a lot of damage to our cells. So that to me is weird. But there again, we have 7 other diets that are very, very healthy. But when it comes to terms of research, especially with the big giant corporations, we see a lot of Lancet, keto diets. And they'll just say keto, and you have to kind of read through the paper to see that it's talking about the Lancet diet. Um, but this is for anyone who wants to make a difference in their own lives, or they want to make a difference in somebody else's life, or if you're thinking about becoming the professional of a professional psycho nutritionist or nutritional psychologist, this is for you. And so I've actually looked up for this um, video how to become one. There aren't that many existing ones. So what it seems like is that people, so before a couple years ago, it was illegal for uh, a therapist to actually practice nutritional psychology, um, because they were not trained in nutrition, which is actually kind of fair. But it has recently been, I think they won a case. Uh, and I've had to do some more research on this, but recently they were able to practice nutrition. If they got their degree, they were able to practice nutrition. So newly, they recently won a case that allowed them to practice nutrition and psychology because there is a clear link between the two, right? What you eat, what goes into your body, clearly affects your mental. And so we have a few places such as what is this, National University Nutritional Psychology Certificate. That is not a degree, that is a certificate. So you already have to have your master's in psychology. So load, there we go. Okay. So this enrollment, this is continued education, total fees $8.99, and you take 6 courses, and then you become a registered um, psychonutritionist. You already have to have your MA. You have to have your master's in psychology, which is great. And this on this side, I believe, actually, it says unit 1, 2, and 3. Oh, this is all the detailed courses, what you'll be reviewing in each of the 6 courses. Yeah. Prior learning credit. Here, nutritional certificate serves as a value credential that complements your educational path, offering the potential to earn academic credits for prior learning that can be applied to a wide range of undergraduate and graduate programs at National University. Below the list, post-bac. So you have your bachelor's. It can go towards your post-bac and a master's in science and health psychology. Um, Now, I did some research on what health psychology exactly was. And more or less, it's very similar, but it's just more general, right? So it's like overall health, like your physical body, your physical well-being, all of that included, your daily activities, all that included into your health outcomes. And then this just allows you to be more specific with nutrition. And so, um, but I would still say be careful because this Lancet diet is definitely pushed a lot. So be very, very careful. So that's just one place. National University, Hudson University. I never heard of this one. This is the first time I heard of this school. Nutritional psychology is an emerging field that explores how dietary choices influence mental health and overall well-being. Growing importance of the field, the significance. Shorty's still. I'm skipping over. Sorry, guys. Nutrient deficiencies are linked to conditions such as depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, emphasizing the role of proper nutrition in maintaining mental well-being. Additional diets rich in essential nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and antioxidants have been found to improve mood and cognitive function. All right, careers. I want a career in this. So I figured who else is watching this also wants a career in this. Health and wellness coach, clinical psychologist, nutritional psychologist. Oh, one very much important thing I forgot to mention about the being on the keto diet, a clinical keto diet, very different from just regular keto diet. A clinical keto diet, people who are on like depression pills, antidepressant, anti-anxiety, benzodiazepines, things like that. So their medication has to be adjusted because number one, you absorb more of the chemicals when you eat more fats, when you eat more omega-3 fats, right? I don't know if that necessarily has to be omega-3s actually, but just in general, when you eat more fats, you absorb more of the chemicals when you're taking the pills and things like that. And they're able to move into your blood-brain barrier more easily, things like that. Another thing I've also learned is that they're able to put their conditions remission, remission. So that means to the point where they are they don't have any side effects, right? So such as depression going down, the depression is you know being uplifted to the point where they're not feeling any effects of depression anymore. Same thing with anxiety. Same thing with bipolar disorder. Same thing with schizophrenia. They go on these diets. They don't need to have medication. They get to the point where they don't need to have the medication. It's not everybody, and it's not a one size fits all. Let's get that straight. It's not a one size fits all. But it's more than enough to the point where it should be considered, right? If you want your life to change, you should try to have this diet. You should change something. So, so this is Hudson University. Oh, you get to do research there. Oh, you become a registered dietitian. I have a speech impediment, so forgive me. Nutritional psychology is different from other fields. We kind of know how psychology can help you into this field. That's what I want, right? We want to enter this field. This is a side note, but I wonder if any research has been done on like OCD and like keto diet or something like that, right? Because it does affect our patterns and behaviors, right? So I wonder if that's happened. And also, if you're ingesting things like omega-6s, you're probably uh, running into more inflammation. If your body has inflammation, you probably have parasites in you. Let's be honest. We probably have parasites. So, yeah, if you guys want to empower yourselves, empower those around you, those that you care for, your community, then I say get this knowledge out there. Let's get this knowledge out there, right? Ketosis is just not for weight loss. It is also for mental health. And it's not a one size fits all. I think you should, if you're, especially if your insurance covers it, but if you or if you have that kind of testing scientist mind, kind of dabble with your diet and just see what makes you feel better. It's not a one size fits all, but I would say definitely if you can afford it, if you can go see a counselor and have them like, hey man, let them know, you know, I just want to change my diet. You can go to a dietitian or you can go to a counselor, right? So depends on what you need. If you're actually feeling like some level of depression, I would say go to one of these nutritional psychologists versus just a dietitian. It was the American Counseling Association, and you get credits to they allow you to take like a certain amount of classes for continuing education because as a counselor you have to do continuing education, I believe. And so they pay for, I think they pay for like 6 classes, and so those 6 classes, the membership, I don't know how much the membership costs per year, but you really want to join and be a part of this. And so there's a lot of benefits. That'll probably be a whole nother video, but being a part of this will help you in your psychology career. It is it's a website for nutritional psychologists, just like how they have the ACA, the American Psychology Association. You have to pay for a membership. This is basically kind of like the same thing. Excuse me. It's up and coming. This is very much so a lot more new than the ACA because the research itself is relatively new. So we're going to take a look at the website, a nutritional component to mental health care by 2030. What do you mean by that? CPN, vision of the future of mental health care is one that includes the role of diet in supporting mental health. CNP is working to fill the void in our current mental health care model by consolidating research, developing curriculum, and creating a methodology through which we can view the diet mental health relationship. Okay, CPN written summaries. Summaries for what? At a glance. Um, that's all good and dandy, I guess, right? Nutritional psychology curriculum for mental health, so they provide classes as well. I did visit the website ahead of time, and it says glyphosate. Yeah, we don't like glyphosate. I'm seeing these like posts. Let's see. Look, gut microbiota regulates the diet anxiety relationship. Oh, see. Eat Lancet helps lowers anxiety and depression. So I'm not a personally, I'm not a big fan of veganism or um, the Lancet diet, just because I feel like the Lancet diet, it just says cut out the junk food, right? Don't drink sodas and things like that, which is definitely good for you. But it's like also saying don't eat red meat, don't, you know, use veggie oils, things like that. And it's like, I don't know. That's not going to help people, right? Like we know vegetable oils have high amounts of omega-6. Not good for your body. So I don't know why they're telling you to do that. As we saw earlier, right? If I can I get back to it? Did I lose it? Did I lose? Yeah. Okay, yeah, right here. See? Where was it? Yeah. Unsaturated plant oils. Unless it means something else, but I'm thinking it literally means vegetable oils. So why would you want to eat? Why were you telling people to eat vegetable oils? We know that's bad, right? Unless you're specifically talking about avocado oil and olive oil, but that's very limited. Or I don't think they're even talking about coconut oil, but that's very limited. So they're just promoting their own diet. Um, it's a big thing. I feel like a lot of the politicians, it's heavily funded. I'm a little, as just being a normal guy who doesn't really know much, right? It just seems a little sus. That's all I gotta say. This channel will suffice as a talking point right? To talk about nutrition, keto, fasting, um, and mental health, and like key things that we could do to just improve our mental health outside of food, right? So that's what for me, that's what the whole point of this is, to improve our own mental health. So obviously not just food, but we'll go over exercise, things like that. So thanks for coming. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for clicking. And I do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and um, you eat a nice hearty meal.